Hi everyone. I'm going to be recording a series of videos on rising and becoming the phoenix in your life because I want you to know how I rose in my life, not only to rise but to flourish, becoming much better than before. Because the things in life that seem like they would break us are actually our greatest opportunities. These experiences of loss, of heartbreak, separation, of, like the death experience in the tarot where you lose everything that you felt was yours, that you felt was a part of your identity. When you rise from something like that, it's not only a rising, it's actually your second birth. It's your shamanic death and your true birth. So this is why these experiences are so precious. And I want you to change the way you look at this. If you're going through something like this, or if you've been through an experience like this in your life, it doesn't have to stay with you. It's possible to move on, move through the grief, because obviously grief must be honored and it must be given adequate time. But it is possible to come out the other side of it and let go of all the heavy feelings and the feelings like life will never be the same and things will never be as good as they were, you'll never love again. Whatever it is that you feel, it's possible to completely move through these feelings and come out the other side. And I want you to know that because this is what I write about in my book, Phoenix Rising: How to Rise from the Ashes of Your Life and Become Unbreakable. Why is it possible to still feel so much love for someone who's left you or betrayed you? Now, this is a very good question. If somebody decides that they want to leave your life and they do not wish to continue with you, there could be many reasons for this, but the one thing that it is absolutely not is because you're not good enough. It's nothing to do with that. They've chosen a different path. Maybe they don't want to do the real work of relationship. Maybe your honesty and integrity and authenticity is too much for them and they want something less challenging. Maybe that could be one of the reasons. So why is it when they've chosen a different path, why is it that you still feel all this love and longing and you still feel like you want to be with that person, even though they may have treated you badly? Because in many so-called twin flame relationships, people talk about how they love the soul of their twins so much, but this person may have narcissistic traits. They may have addictive problems with addiction. They may even be abusive. And still, sometimes, like I did, I wanted to stay and stay because in my mind, I felt I wanted to embrace him in all that he was and love him, and that I could love him enough so that we would move through all of these things and have a good relationship together. But there comes a point where when you love yourself, you have to say no. Doesn't matter who they are. They could be the most amazing soul in the world that you feel is your true twin flame. But if they treat you badly, you have to say no. And this is self-love. This is the love that you need to learn. So why is it that you still feel all these feelings to someone who's done these things to you? Well, there can be different reasons for this. One of them is, of course, the trauma bond, which is a psychological thing when you go through intense trauma with someone, traumatic events where they treat you badly and your mind wants to understand why. You have this trauma bond with them, or maybe you've gone through difficult things together. That creates a bond. So In this case, it's about releasing the trauma and releasing the association and the bond to that person. Another reason is that on a soul level, the soul contract is not complete. So it may be that there's more for you. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to have a relationship and everything's going to be all right and beautiful romantic love and like the relationship of your dreams. No, it just means that the soul contract is not complete. Now, the soul contract between you and another soul is about healing. It's about clearing karma. It's about you've agreed to do something for each other. Maybe sometimes a soulmate comes along and they are simply there to show you the beauty in your own soul that you may have forgotten about. Maybe they're there to show you a possibility that there's more to life than this. Maybe there's more to life than your current relationship, the promise of something new. They're there to give you a gift as you are there to give them a gift. And when you're in an intense relationship, like a twin flame relationship, the gift is intense healing because of the intense mirroring that you give to each other. So when the soul contract is not complete, it means the healing is not quite complete. Now, what happened with me is things ended and I couldn't get rid of the longing. I couldn't get rid of the feeling that I still loved this person and we were meant to be together. And I am a person who follows my heart. I've always believed in love, and this to me was the most important thing to follow. So I could not let go of this feeling in my heart. So when they came back to me and asked me to come back, I said yes. Even though that person had treated me badly and done all kinds of things that I should have walked away from long ago, I could feel the link between our souls, and that's why I didn't let it go. So I came back, and things happened even worse. And then I saw it and I ended it. So why did I need to go back to complete that? Well, in that final phase, I got the completion of my healing. I saw this, and this. I saw what they were reflecting, what they were embodying, which was aspects of the father wound and my previous toxic relationships, and the last vestiges of things that I needed to recognize and see and say, I will not tolerate this in my life anymore because I love myself. So I got the last part of the healing, and I also got a huge karmic reward, which was part of the release and the uncoupling from this relationship. So for me, it was right to go back to just complete the learning, complete the healing, and complete the soul contract. Now, this is a subtle thing that you have to see. You have to see it with your inner eye and you have to see it on a soul level. Sometimes it's simply because you can't let go of the attachment. Sometimes they're not going to come back. And many people are waiting for their twin flame to come back and, oh, they're the runner, I'm the chaser, blah, blah, blah. It 9 times out of 10, it's not going to happen. Often they leave and they never come back. So you have to ask yourself the question, do you want to spend the rest of your life waiting for someone who can't even be bothered to get in touch with you and doesn't even want to come back? But it's not as simple as saying, I'm not going to think about this person anymore. It's the emotional chords, it's the feeling in your heart, it's the psychic chords, it's everything that connects you, it's the attachments. So, a major part of this learning is about freeing yourself from attachment, which is in all the major spiritual teachings. It's in Buddhism, it's in Hinduism, it's in all these ancient ways. how to free yourself from attachment. There are ways of doing this, and I can help you with this. And it's very important to do this actually after any relationship. Release the cords, and it's not just cord cutting, it's not about cutting. Cutting is something that is actually unnatural. It's about releasing the cords up to the creator and clearing them in a healthy way, in a good way, so that you no longer have these attachments. You have to find the reason for the attachment. Sometimes we're attached to a person because we think that person can fulfill our childhood needs that weren't met. If you're an anxious attacher, these are attachment styles. If you lean anxious, that means that when you were a child or a young person, one of your carers didn't give you love in the way that you wanted it at a particular time. And there's no judgment here. Maybe you were a baby and you were left to cry, and maybe there was a good reason why your parents couldn't go to you, but you're carrying this need for love inside you, and you're looking to your partner to fill that void, and it's never going to happen. No matter how much love they give you, it's not going to happen. So, to release this attachment, you have to see, like I did, I had a realization, wait a minute, I'm not a little child. I don't need love. I don't need their love. I don't need anyone's love. I am love. I can give myself that love. And when I saw that, my neediness disappeared. I thought, I'm not going to sit here crying because they're not calling me. I'm not going to do that anymore because I don't need love. And that was the beginning of my healing. So, releasing attachment is a very important thing to do. There are ways to move on, and one of the reasons why it's very hard to move on after a breakup or a separation that was very intense is because you have the heart connection, the emotional connection, you also have the mental connection, and you may have thought loops that keep repeating. And this is actually the hardest thing to break. And I know how to help you with that because I did this for myself. I worked it out for myself. I cleared the emotional connection, I cleared the attachment, I cleared the cords, and I broke the mental thought loops. So I can show you how to do that, how to turn the page and write a new story. How is it possible to heal from heartbreak, loss, or betrayal and rise again from such devastating loss to live a meaningful life? I'm going to tell you my story of how I rose from heartbreak, not only to rise, but to flourish, becoming truly unbreakable inside, because this is what I want for you, because this is the power at the heart of every woman, and indeed every human being. This is the phoenix rising energy, and once you tap into it, your life will transform. Firstly, I want to say that heartbreak is real. If you've ever experienced it, it's something that hits you like a truck, or actually like a steamroller, or even it's like some say it's like being dropped out of a plane. It's a sudden fall, and you literally feel like you can't go on. This is why it's a kind of death experience. When I went through mine, I thought I was going to die. I felt like if I got up and took a step, I would fall over because I felt there was nothing holding me up. I felt all the joy had gone out of my life and there was nothing but a barren wasteland. It was that bad. And even, I tried to lift myself out of it. I actually started getting physical symptoms, because heartbreak is a physical thing. There's such a thing as broken heart syndrome, which affects the point in the very center of your chest, which is called the heart center in acupuncture. And this point actually really hurts when your heart is broken. So it's a very real thing. And you should not minimize it. You should not think there's something wrong with you. It's actually a natural process, because where there is great love, there's great grief. It's simply the other side of the energy of this great love and strong attachment that you had. When that's taken away, it's like a part of you is taken away. It's almost like your character is being killed out of that movie, because in a sense that's true. So this is something that you have to take it seriously, you have to honor it. So how to rise from it, how to move through it? Well, I took myself through this process, and this is what I write about in my book, to overcome such a devastating loss and move through it, rising in every aspect of my life. Now, it's not an instant thing, it does take time, and I'm going to take you through the process so that you don't get stuck in it. Because, on the one hand, grief needs time, it needs to be honored. You should never feel rushed to process your feelings, and you should never suppress them, keep them inside, because the feelings need to flow through your heart like a river. This is how healing happens. Healing only does not happen when we block the flow. It's like the river wants to flow and we're constantly putting a rock in it to dam it. We need to release the rocks, we need to release the flow so the heart can once again flow. Grief must be honored and the process takes time. However, on the other hand, many people get stuck in this cycle and they never come out. And you have to ask yourself, do you want to spend the rest of your life in this state of grief? Now, I know I'm quite aware that some things are very, very difficult to heal from, some losses. There will always be some kind of grief within you, and I'm well aware of that. What I'm talking about is heartbreak and separation, and how to release this grief so that you can move on with your life and not only rise but flourish and live a meaningful life and truly step into your power. So actually your former life is just a shadow of who you truly are. And believe me, that can happen. So I developed a way to lead you out of heartbreak and into the rising and the flourishing. And I'm going to tell you the first step now. So the first step is connecting to the thread of life. Because in every moment, every single moment in your life, there is a thread. It's the golden thread of the eternal now. And if you focus on this thread, if you find a way to follow it, it will become the rope that leads you out of the abyss of heartbreak and leads you into a new life. So the first thing to do is connect to the thread of life. And this could be anything. In any moment, there may be something beautiful. There may be something that makes you laugh. It's about doing something that makes you feel good. And I know you may be in a state where you don't enjoy anything and nothing makes you feel good. Now, what I did, I went to the gym and I got a personal trainer, because focusing on my physical health, my physical fitness, just took my mind out of it. So it may be that you want to do something like that, and focusing on fitness is always going to be beneficial. So that was me connecting to the thread of life and finding a way to engage myself in an activity that took me out of that mental state. steps. This is what I write about in my book, Phoenix Rising, and this is what I teach in my mentorship program. And I've designed the steps in such a way that you can follow them in your own way and make them yours. But if you follow the steps, it will lead you out and you will free yourself. You will rise. You will flourish. You will have your second birth. And you will be amazed at the power and the beauty, the sovereignty, and the literal phenomenal essence of you that you finally realize.